Surprisingly, there's more prehistoric themed games out there than you might think. One of my favourites is Chuck Rock on the Sega Mega Drive, so let's have a little look. Created by Core Designs in 1991, Chuck Rock is a cool little platform game focused on a prehistoric man on a mission to rescue his wife Ophelia Rock after Gary Gritter has kidnapped her. At the title screen you'll notice Chuck playing guitar wearing a wig. To his right is his wife Ophelia, and what I think is Gary Gritter on drums. Chuck must make his way through some tough terrain in order to get her back, from dark caverns to icy hills and even the insides of a dinosaur. The controls are basic and easy to use with only jump and attack functions. You attack using your belly to bounce enemies away or pressing jump then attack for a mid-air kick. Additionally, you can use rocks that can be found throughout each level. Simply pressing down to crouch and using the attack button to lift a rock, you can throw them at enemies or squash them, or use them to get access to higher platforms. Not all rocks are needed, but can be useful to find hidden goodies in higher places. There are funny ways of getting to different platforms throughout the game, like a pterodactyl that will carry you to an unreachable platform, a crocodile that you can use to launch yourself to higher ground, unravelling snakes to extend the platform, and woolly mammoths that suck you up and spit you out to a different platform. There are 5 levels in total. They all look very detailed and colourful, like a cartoon. The enemy sprites have a very cute comical look to them, some of which when you kill them leave the screen with band-aids on them. There's one that looks so sweet that you wouldn't want to harm it. That's until it breathes fire at you. The first level is quite long, but from then on they seem to get shorter and far more difficult. The game physics change depending on what level you're on, like the stage with water. Chuck has momentum under the water, making it harder to stop quickly. And trying to make sure he doesn't drown, but you'll know when he's close because his arm movements become more rapid. In the ice level, slippery surface become hard to walk on. Planning a few steps ahead can really save you some health. And falling icicles can be a pain, but you can always look out for these and avoid them. Each level has its own boss, which are more adorable than scary. The first boss is a raspy triceratops that will charge back and forth and blow raspberries at you. Picking up the rock and throwing it at the triceratops' head from the platform above is the only way to defeat it. Other boss encounters aren't as easy, like the saber-toothed tiger that jumps about the screen a lot. I found the best way to defeat him is to find a spot near the centre of the platform and belly bot repeatedly until he's done. Occasionally he'll roar at you, rendering you scared stiff, leaving you open for attack. The final challenge is to beat Gary Gritter. He's easy enough, just stand at his feet and hit him until he's gone. I'm confused with this one. On the Mega CD version, Gary looks like a pervy Elvis, but here he's a T-Rex. But in the end scene, is that a person squashed underneath a T-Rex? So if that's Gary that's squashed, why do you fight a dinosaur and not Gary himself? Is the T-Rex Gary's bodyguard? Maybe the T-Rex was part of the Gary gang.
Got it?
I had a look at this game in the Sega Power Tips book. You may remember these. And the advice in this is pretty awful. Not only do they not know what a saber-toothed tiger is, as they labelled it as a walrus, but they said there's no other way to defeat Gary than hitting him on the head, which is complete bullshit. This game may not be the best platform game ever, but it's a lot of fun. It's a simple pick up and play game that can get you hooked. The graphics look really good and the music is pretty catchy too. There are some frustrating bits in there, but they can be overcome quite easy if you take your time. I would recommend the Mega CD version, which I don't have with me at the moment. The soundtrack has been remastered with real instruments, and you get a nice introduction video as well. If you like platform games that aren't fast paced and really challenging, then this may be for you. I had a look at this game in the Sega Power Tips book. You may remember these. Maybe these. I had a look at this game in the Sega Power Tips book. You may remember these. And the advice in these was pretty awful. Not only do they not know what a Sega tooth? Fucking hell. Sega tooth tiger. I had a look at this game in the Sega Power Tips book. You may remember these. And the advice is in it. Oh, Fucking Jesus. Why is it so hard?